somehow can get towards the mid-game and they don't have a large deficit, I think they will win in the end because their lineup scales very well and they have good team fight. I do not think it's going to get there, though. Yeah, and you've got great synergy, like 2 cores that have perfect use out of the Inner Beast. You love the attack speed on the Sniper and the Void, and the combo inside the Chrono is
you
great.
To right-click on Sniper, yeah.
So I don't think they're going to get there, though, because I really think the safe lane and the off lane from Cactus is very, very strong.
Yeah, I think mid's probably going to break even.
I like this a lot. Look at this. Radiant, their level 1 is incredibly strong, and they're going to look to use it to their advantage. As Killer in a hell of a lot of trouble. Unfortunately, it's going to be Fish King that finds first blood, but regardless, you're able to get that bounty.
Fish King disrespect, man, and
what?
Aaron doesn't want any part of it. He's just like, I'm DC'd out of this game. You give up first blood, I'm going to go record another Smash K-pop hit.
So do you kind of agree with... Well, what do you think? What's kind of your thought process on the 2 drafts that we have at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, if it gets super late, I think Poke are going to win. I don't know if it's going to get to that stage. They've got good synergy, but it's all around the Chronosphere, right? Because in a similar way that they don't really have anyone to go first outside of the LC on Cactus, you need Chronosphere, really, to go first on Poke until you get like a Blink Dagger maybe on the Beastmaster. So it feels to me like Poke are playing a little... Sorry, the more I look at these drafts, they're very similar, aren't they? In terms of like...
Are they?
They have one person that can go, but they have decent reactionary tactics, is what I'm essentially saying, right? Like, you've got the swap to get yourself out of Chronosphere, but you've also got like the overgrowth to be able to stop some aggressive moves. And then on Poke's side, you might be able to get the jump with like a Blink Duel, but then you've got, you know, the Fiery Spirits and the Sun Ray to be able to survive that. You've got, you know, the Faceless Void who can potentially use the Chrono as that turnaround tool. More fighting around this mid lane. Another Observer Ward battle that just doesn't go either team's way.
Okay, I can see how you're saying there are very similar attributes between either side. Just see, for me, it all comes down to the lanes. That's just, if somehow Poke are able to win these lanes, then you're in a pretty solid position, but I do not think that's going to be the case.
I don't either. I think their lanes are set up for not a ton of success. I think they should be ahead based off of that, but I think it's really going to come down to team fights once again, right? Like similar to last game. It was pretty even for most of it until like those initiations started happening and they're actually going to look to go on to Aaron once again. No Orb of Venom though on Jumi, looking to just build up that ring of protection, realizing that he doesn't really have those trees to be able to play around with, so he might be taking a few right clicks here and there. Summer actually with 0 regen. Hopefully he's got a little bit coming out to him now. Yeah, just the one set of tangos. And I like the fact that Killer's go on that level 1 wild axes, right? A, you want to stay as far away as possible from the treant. B, you're going up against a couple of Agi heroes, right? So they're always going to be able to give you some decent value where you're not worrying about that high armor or that magic damage. Really useful.
One kind of interesting thing is that Small KK started out with the Shrapnel. I know Thompson kind of likes to no Shrapnel build. We've seen Nisha as well go down that route early on. So Small KK just trying to secure his early couple of waves, 6 and 2 compared to the 8 and 0. So Butterfly Effect is off to a great start here for the Shadow Fiend.
I don't hate him going the Shrapnel to be able to begin with. He actually gets 2 points into it as well. Just because you're going up against a Shadow Fiend, he is a lane dominator, right? And he is going to shove that lane out, and Sniper notoriously has pretty terrible right-click damage, at least to begin the game with, right? You're really relying on those headshot procs to be able to get a lot of those last hits, so you've got to make sure that the lane is somewhat pushed out towards the enemy side so that it can't be pushed back under your tower. He's doing a really good job, though. Like I think he just got 3 CS and a couple of denies in the SF's face, so Small KK doing real well.
I wonder if even more points in Shrapnel early on can help out with some of the early chronos. If you kind of max out your headshot and take aim, then you might be lacking a little bit of early damage to pumping. You could just use Shrapnel and then look to run away.
I'm really not seeing the Faceless Void and the Sniper playing too much in tandem early on, right? I think you're going to need the at least level 7 on the Phoenix, I would say, before you're looking to get any sort of that stuff happening. It's really just playing around the Beastmaster as much as possible. I think that's where a few of these early rotations might start to happen. And it might even be on the back of the power runes, although Sniper, not exactly the greatest user of them when you compare it to like a Spirit Hero or a Tiny.
Nor really is the Shadow Fiend, to be honest, as well, and especially maybe with how we see this draft set up. It looks like they're really trying to enable Butterfly effects, so maybe he's going to play more for his own game instead of rotating like we saw previously with that Ember Spirit. Bottom lane, Yumi's in a lot of trouble. He's going to look to go to the north instead, but they won't find that last right click, so finally Poke going to be able to hit their board.
Killer's going to be a little careful here. He's dropping a little low on the old HP. Of course, going up against this Vengeful Spirit, every time he uses the Wave of Terror, it brings you down to 0 armor. So that Treant, if he's able to get those right clicks off, as he just attempted to, is going to really start to chunk down your HP. They're trying to get in onto Aaron here, and I'm sure that's what he's trying to say. Use the Wave of Terror onto this Rubik. He is squishy as hell. But that's just a little bit too late. Obviously, as a Venge, you don't exactly have the most Venge Treant lane, especially the most reliable tools to be able to secure a lot of these range creeps or even the Beastmaster boss. So sacrificing kill potential for creep secure Jumi.
Who's going to be able to get the kill first? Jumi trying to play around with that second point in the leech seed. Orphea 1-for-1 exchange. Summer, he's got plenty of one charges. Can Summer turn, surely? 2 points up with the Wave of Terror with the help of the minus Summer. Uses it a little bit too late to get that bonus damage with the right click. Regardless, Killer will be able to move on back.
He's got the Helm of Iron Will now, he's fine. The more important thing is that you killed that Treant Protector after he just TP'd out to that lane. So now you know you've got a 2v1 situation. You can see Aaron positioning himself very aggressively, looking to try and harass him out. And it means that Summer needs to back off entirely. Won't be able to stop Killer from getting this next wave right next to his tower. That's exactly where he wants it to be. So good priorities there from Pope. Really looked at this top lane much, have we?
Yeah. Just taking a look at Fish King and TZY trying to take the double small camp, I believe it was. Don't think it was a triple, so very nicely done. It's going to stop them from able to drag the wave back. It's already in a pretty decent position, and you know, Lonfez having a pretty good start as well, 23-6 compared to the 27-5 for TZY on top.
Again, it is another one of his comfort heroes, right? So you expect him to be able to get out of this lane in a fairly decent spot. TZY, he knows he doesn't need to go this big, like
butterfly effect. Well, they even glyphed the creep wave on Die to try and run through, but the Shrapnel wasn't in the greatest position to hold down the Shadow Fiend.
Love the raindrops as well on small KK. Just stops a lot of that harassment from coming through. I wonder if he's going to just get the 1 point into the Assassinate as well on small KK. A lot of the times, teams completely ignore it, but I feel like that mini stun is really effective, especially just the early point, right? To get that that kill threat on the board. 320 damage at level 6 is a lot.
Right. See what's happening though as soon as the support leaves this lane up top. TZY is able to start to bully out Lonfair. Meanwhile, bottom lane as well, Killer, he's in some trouble. Someone's already used the combo Killer. Be okay, especially with Aaron showing up as well, but does leave the side lanes a little bit vulnerable for a wave or two.
I mean, you're very happy leaving this Legion commander up here next to the Faceless Void. He doesn't have the Time Walk available for about 5 seconds, but Time Dilation going to push them away long enough. Do you go for this aggressive move, Lonfair? I think that's a little bit of an odd choice. I mean, you really want to leave this LC up here solo if you can. Get up into that level 6 ASAP, because you know that you're going to be able to secure some kills.
Would you need an extra support to rotate with the Jewel, or are they going to have enough damage between the Snapfire and the Legion Commander, maybe once Fish King gets an extra level?
I think they're going to have plenty, just because Faceless Void is going to be low enough by having to face up against this LC in the lane anyway. And, you know, if you go on to the Phoenix, very little armor, so...
On mid lane, Butterfly Effect, yeah. First rotation out of Aaron. Butterfly Effect, though, a defensive use of the Requiem's able to land a couple of razors afterwards that'll send small KK away. So, there's a very early level low up the Requiem.
Will Fish King be able to bait around Fu into coming through here? Like
so they got the short raise. Meanwhile, bottom lane though, Venge gets solo killed by the Beastmaster, and back inside the river, Fish King, he's gonna go down as well. So now this bottom lane is completely open for Killer to get a decent chunk of damage onto the tower. That'll give him enough gold for the Helmet Dominator as well. So these lanes are going much better once again for Poke.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not really sure what the Snapfire was doing, making that sort of movement through. It wasn't a power rune that he needed to contest. You had SF just happily farming away at those neutral camps, and Legion Commander was very close to picking up the level 6. He actually went for the duel attempt onto the Faceless Void, but because Snap wasn't there, you didn't have that extra follow-up damage. Yeah. I think, yeah, Snap LC is plenty.
Ooh. Nice TP out. From the Rubik, meanwhile, mid lane, Small KK is getting a little bit of damage into the tower. They've got a great cliff ward as well that's able to scout out. Once again, the support, back-to-back games, we see them just looking to hold hands here with Butterfly Effect. It's leaving bottom a little bit vulnerable as Ranfu's going to look to rotate down. Killer's got the Roar up again. Actually looks to use it onto Summer, wanting to hold the Venge into place to help enable them to get the kill onto the Treant Protector.
Absolutely no one wants to come up towards this top lane, though. They're really just saying, I think you got to let this one go against the LC. He is the one hero that you're really scared about at this stage of the game, just because of how he's able to break apart. He's gone a very single target focus game, maxing out the press the attack, getting a couple in the moment of courage. He doesn't need to go the overwhelming odds. He knew if they did that in lane, then Faceless Void would just time walk it off. Speaking of Void, gets a kill onto a Snapfire, who once again is just roaming perhaps a little bit too far. Fish King out of his depth.
He had a ward scouting up the Void farming, but didn't know that there was a cliff ward for Dire. Sniper was in a great position to be able to combine with the Void, so there wasn't even a Chronosphere needed to get the kill. So it's going to keep their jungle free, bottom lane, tower goes down as well. So this is great signs for Poke's early game. Killer might be in some trouble, but just...
They're just thinking, we don't have this damage.
So we've got to be looking at Jewel and first Mortimer Kisses, right? For Cactus.
Top lane. Sniper's here.
Here we go. All right. Chrono out. Small KK. Level 8. They're going to need no one else. With the maxed out Shrapnel, TZY is going to try off the black, try and play off the back of the press the attack, but that one is not enough. So great first use of the Chronosphere, and we just see what they're getting out of the map for Poke. I'm so surprised that they're getting away with this. You're getting kills up top, bottom lane, 3 heroes from Cactus. They're not even getting everything out of, you're putting all these resources down here. So Poke, with how they've started, they are so happy.
They really just have no playmakers outside of the Legion Commander for the first, like, let's say 18 minutes of the game, probably longer, right? Because the Venge, speaking of Venge, might be in a bit of trouble on this bottom side. Not just the Venge either.
Someone's going to try and TP out. Looks like he's actually going to be able to make it. A little bit of damage reduction, I believe, still there with the nether swaps. But it's him not farming. Bottom of the net worth out of the Venge and Denog. I know we haven't seen this hero as a core in quite some time, but you are a non-factor without the Scepter.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Kind of similar to, in my opinion, the way a lot of teams play the Earthshaker. You got to give it farm. As a position 1, you're going to, but he certainly doesn't have enough. You need to play a really selfish game in this first little bit, and then play selfless once you've picked up that Aghanim's Scepter beyond that. But who then makes the plays, right? It really feels to me like TZY needs to be playing with this Snapfire a lot more than he currently is. And while he's just playing solo up here, he's going to be the consistent target of a lot of this aggression that's coming through from Poke.
TZY is going to go down. Maybe one fur. Will he actually go down? Phase Boots, he's pretty speedy and he's out. He's got the blink now getting delivered. A little bit low on the resources, but you need to start bringing some members up top to make some plays.
They're doing the right thing. They're making that movement up. Snapfire's level 6 as well. They go for a smoke. They know the Void and the Snapfire are here. Of course, you can only capture one. See if their positioning is right on both of the supports. Look at exactly where they're playing. I'm really liking this from Aaron. He's probably going to die, but if it means that your cores aren't dying, I think you're very happy with that. Now you know you've got 50 seconds where they don't really have that damage to be able to get through one of these cores. With no Mortimer's Kisses as well for the next 110, it really just frees up a lot more space for you to farm. And that's exactly what Lomfair is going to do with this Midas.
Greed. Name of the game here for Poke, but like you said, they have a great win rate when Lonfair is playing this Faceless Void, so he feels like he's going to be able to get away with the greed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with the position they're in at the moment, set up perfectly to do so. They're going to be able to chill for a little bit of time. At least with this top tower getting claimed, we see Summer is going to be able to take maybe a little bit more of the safer farm across the map. They're going to put Butterfly Effect down bottom. But for Dire, I know we did just mention that the Faceless Void picked up the Midas and they have more of a greedy lineup, but are there any plays we can expect out of them, or are they just truly going to be reactionary for a vast majority of this game?
I think... Oh, stole the duel.
Yeah, I don't know how. Top lane, Yumi as well is going to go down. Easy kill.
I think they're just going to be completely reactionary. Like, they know that if they get to the late game without bleeding too many kills, then they're going to be way ahead. The only way that I can see Cactus matching their aggression is if TZY just starts to really rack up those dual kills. And you know he wants to, right? You've gone this first item, Blink Dagger, not the Blade Mail, not anything else that's going to assist you with farming. So... does he have a smoke on him? No. Does Snapfire? No. So, I mean, really, they just need to try and bait them into coming for these aggressive plays, like picking up runes, not playing around their vision, and Poke, to their credit, they're not doing it. They're not taking the bait. And really want to see Fish King make his movement back up towards the LC. 5 seconds away from the Mortimer's Kisses. Duel's up. You got the Blink Dagger. You got to be playing together. And, I mean, he's playing around this top side, but no carry in their right mind is going to be playing around this lane when there's no tower for the teammates to be able to walk to. They're just playing around their vision instead. Good positioning by Ranfu. They'll just keep growing their lead if they let this happen.
Yeah, and they're actually going to collapse on mid. I think that smoke was under the Hawk vision. Killer's starting to reposition back towards the river. TZY wants to get the jump in, but there's the Mortimer Kisses coming down. The Requiem of Souls as well, but the damage, it's enough. They don't get the dual victory, but they get some much needed kills.
God damn, Butterfly Effect, what a play. Just using the Requiem, nowhere near that because he knew what was coming. He knew that Time Walk Chronosphere was coming to be able to hold back the damage. They would have had enough to be able to defend that, but whew, man, just thinking 2 steps ahead. He's playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. You ever played checkers in your life?
I have played checkers in my life, yes. I honestly, I do understand you asking a question. I've not done a lot of things you have. Freaking boomer. Okay. Us as we unite. Oh, that's... No. Come on. No, you're not. You're so far from being enlightened. It's not even a joke at this point.
Bro, we're cast to the China region. Last time we went to Hot Pot, you were like, what is all of this crazy stuff? I've never done this in my life. And I'm like, bro, it's Hot Pot. Come on. It's not that complicated.
And dude, that pot was hot. I'm telling you. Parker ordered the spiciest thing I think is possible to have on the menu.
What, was it like a mild?
No, man, shut up. It wasn't mild. I'm not good with spice, but that was... No, not okay. Would you ever, like, have a...
No, I don't like scorching my taste buds either. No, yeah, the Carolina Reaper peppers? No, I'm not about that. But,
you're not about it? All right. Not even for, like, the memes? For a nice joke?
No. I
Making
like
your friends laugh?
You know I like eating things, and I'm not going to prevent my ability to do that for a joke.
Yeah, but okay. Well, one way to maybe tip you over the edge, we'll give you a big bowl of ice cream. The best ice cream.
It's not enough.
It's not enough?
It's also what happens the next day is the
yes, the stuff we can't speak about. Comes out the other way and it's no fun.
It's no fun. The reason we're talking about this is because there's nothing that's going to be happening for the next little bit in this game. I think Poke are going to be very happy with that if that's going to be the case. Building a Maelstrom, it's nothing groundbreaking on the Faceless Void, but it gives you pretty good value, right? You're going up against the Living Armor, you're going up against an Agi hero plus an LC that likes building into things like the Blade Mail, he's got the Phase Boots, so physical, not going to be as effective. And you've already got a Midas, and you've got the Inner Beast Aura to be able to play around with. So attack speed is no problemo on the Faceless Void either.
Yeah, they're getting away with the greed, right? We'll see if they want to react on Cactus. They have the Jewel and Mortimer Kisses up to play with.
They know they've got 2 heroes here, but they don't know about the Phoenix and the Faceless Void. It seems like they're not wanting to respond to it. I think, do they have... No, they've got a Hawk behind the tower. So despite the fact that they're committing 5 heroes to do this, it's not the worst, right? If you're able to take away the enemy's Ancient Camp, I think you're happy enough with that too.
I will say though, I'm kind of okay that Cactus aren't really forcing the issue right now because I think their huge spike is 15 on Butterfly Effect and Scepter on Summer, which is almost completed. Now, you don't have a big window considering how much farm Poke have been able to get early, and you cannot let them get Roche. This is what Cactus need. Like, their lineup is enabled by this first Aegis.
Oh, you got to get here, Butterfly Effect.
TZY, he's going to be the first one to start. Lonfair, though. Chrono 1 to 2. They got the Supernova to the north side as well. No one's going to be able to address the egg. And that is a team fight 1 for Poke, and now a Roche secured.
Oh, we were giving him big props there on the Legion Commander for TZY, but that blink just came up a bit short. He didn't get inside of the pit, he didn't reveal anyone, and he just got completely turned around upon. Great use of the Chronosphere as well by Lonfair. Not needing to catch the cause at the very start, right? It's more about just making sure that the Treant Protector's locked down, that you're able to keep these others zoned away as well. And if they get away with that Aegis, it's going to enable their greedy play even further. And now they can actually look to play around with the Drums of Endurance.
I see Summer. Scepter has just been completed. It's a beautiful cookie onto 2. It's going to be able to enable the Mortimer Kisses to help secure a couple of kills onto the supports as well.
Okay.
But... yeah.
He's nearly got the... He does have the Lincolns now as well on the Sniper. I was actually going to call that out before we started talking about Hot Pot. But it's a great item, this game, right? Really, the only initiation that you've got is swap or duel. And so what are you actually going to go on the LC to be able to counter this now? He's going to Halberd, but doesn't feel that amazing. Summer probably doesn't want to go a 4-staff on Venge unless he builds it into like a Dragon Lane's Hurricane Pike for some stats that are going to stay. Speaking of Summer, he's actually getting gone on a little bit here.
Oh, Aaron, long range telekinesis. Summer should end up going down. Spam the right click from Small KK from farm. Meanwhile, mid lane though, the Jewel, they are onto Killer. No way. Oh, Killer's going to be able to run away. Butterfly Effect control with the Roar, and that was his first use of the BKB as well. They're coming. They're starting to move their attention over to mid. It's going to be Lonfair that starts, and Snapfire is going to be killed off. This is really not good signs at all. Danog, I was saying I think Poke have to be like even and maybe a couple thousand gold behind Cactus, but the fact that they're 5k ahead at 21 minutes in, is there a way back in for Cactus? Yeah, no bueno indeed.
It's rough, for sure. I still really feel like they just cannot play unless they've got this Mortimer's Kisses in combination with the LC.
Nice counter initiation, but Summer might just be dead again. Swapped into the middle. TZY is going to try and play off the back of the Jewel. He's got the damage saying to himself, they've got to be careful about the Blade Mail. But Small KK is standing strong. He doesn't care at all. Still has his Aegis to work with. He might just... he'll turn to Fish King. What's stopping him? Small KK getting the damage going. Butterfly Effect's gonna try and enter to set up the Requiem, but the Chronosphere holds him down into place. And now Lonfair can look to get the cleanup onto the Snapfire as well. And I think it's safe to say that the strategy they were going for Cactus just did not work out this game.
No, definitely not. I mean, we haven't seen a single swap save for the Chronosphere. There's just the wrong targets being caught out every single time, and they have no one to be able to make plays around. They even dropped the Mortimer's Kisses there, again, right? Like, sure, you're able to get a tiny bit more dual damage onto the LC, and, you know, at least she was level 12 with the dual damage bonus talent, but it's a long time, 120, whatever it is, 100 seconds or so, to be able to make plays with, and it just feels like Poke are going to be able to take away so much of your map and not enable you to farm.
Not only, like, we've spoken a lot about the cores and their greediness, but even the supports and what they can do as the game goes on here for Poke. And we saw how much involvement they were to have in that previous team fight. Rubik stole Overgrowth to help kind of hold them down for a little bit of time. Even a fight that they don't even need the Supernova. I mean, it's just enough if Ranfu's got the goddamn Ag Shard. And there's still an incredible shard here for the Phoenix. He's gone for that Spell Amp, plus 6% here at the level 10. So, you know, he's going to be doing a decent amount of damage if he can get that Sunray off.
Look at Aaron as well. He's going into the Yules. Sorry, the scan connects from Poke, so they know exactly what's coming. So they're going to back off. The one weakness of their team is that they don't really have anyone to be that smoke breaker, right? Ranfu, you could probably say could, but he needs vision to be able to play around with for that purpose, so that he can dive away as soon as they get the glimpse of any kind of smokes. And well, without that, they're just not going to take the chance. Instead, more of a smoke in response to a smoke that they know was happening.
Butterfly effect, they know no one's behind him as well.
Nice.
They've got great Hawk and Ward coverage. The telekinesis back into the Raw. Mechanism's going to repair some of the damage, but it is not enough here to keep him alive.
Still really fast movement, though. How did he know that? Did he see, like, the inner beast aura on the creeps or something?
Why the Shadow Fiend was there?
Why he four-staffed back before the smoke broke?
Maybe? I mean, that's kind of next level if that's what he looked at. Regardless, it's 12,000 here for Poke at 24 minutes in. Cause
I'm wondering what even they wait for at this stage, right? Like, are you worried about them reaching onto anything? Like, it doesn't really feel like Cactus are close to any sort of power spike. Maybe level 12 on the snap. She's just about got it. Gives a little bit of extra damage with the Mortimer's Kisses, but again, it honestly feels like... Oh, is he going to drop the chrono here just to stop snap? No. It feels a little bit more like the extra 10 seconds reduced to the cooldown does more than the damage increase. It just... You need to be more active around the map. That's my main concern right now for Cactus.
Oh, they're going to buy back and try and defend the tower as Summer. But Break the Lincolns gets the swap in. TZY looking for the jewel, but the Supernova might be able to protect the sniper. Butterfly effect able to look to enter. Over Ranfu. Egg's going to go off, and that'll enable them to turn the fight back around. As Poke, they're looking for the cleanup. Lon first starting to make his way over as well. They're going to be cautious if they group up because the chrono, it's ready to connect onto two. They'll turn all their attention over to Butterfly Effect. The Force Staff tries to get him out of danger, but it's not enough repositioning. TZY is doing a decent chunk of damage over the Legion Commander, but they'll look to kite him, and Aaron with the finishing blow will secure the team wipe. That is...
I like the fact that they went for that move. What are we chuckling about?
Aaron jumped under the tier 4 towers and TP'd out.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I like the fact that they went for that play because they know that the Faceless Void was up top, so no real way for him to quickly connect to the rest of the team. But even 5v4, they weren't able to get the most out of that one, and then they just lingered for a little bit too long. Faceless Void was able to walk. I mean, have a look on the minimap, right? He's up top, farming this whole time. They get the jump. After this, it, of course, requires that buyback from the Tree and Protector, but still quite some time until the Faceless Void was able to get down to this bottom lane. And, well, you probably couldn't have asked for too much of a better initiation, right? Onto the Sniper. Maybe if you could get him before they use the Force Staff back, it would have been even more ideal. But they still get the dual kill. They still get rid of the Sniper, but by this point, it's just taken too long. And, you know, Faceless Void, you can see here, is right next to the Ancient Camp. So very, very quickly able to influence this next little part of the fight. Venge even buying back so that his real guy goes back to where the illusion was. It's just an extra death on the board for him.
We kind of see what can happen, those back to live. Jewel, TZY actually in the river, jeweled an illusion, and meanwhile they're able to chase down Fish King as well. So more sequence of events not paying off here for Cactus. We saw in that previous replay just what can happen though. If you get the jewel onto a target, Phoenix is just going to lay the Supernova down. And what do you do? You turn to, if you try and deal with the egg, then you're not going to get the jewel victory. And if you keep hitting the jewel target, then the egg's going to go off.
Yeah.
It's TZY.
A no-win situation.
The Blade Mail almost did enough to kill Lonfer, but so at the time, okay to play with. Some of those going to run into Aaron around the high ground ward location. Aaron's okay for the moment with the stolen press attack. Yumi's going to look to jump on over though. So the Overgrowth is able to hold him down. They're able to secure the kill onto the Rubik. Summer is now in a position where he's forced to kind of fight, but maybe they're happy with fighting with Butterfly Effect, looking to show up. Force out the Supernova. They should be able to bring it down. Yeah, Breast attacks able to dispel off the Fire Spirit, so a couple of supports going down here for Cactus. Sorry for Poke.
So what are they really waiting for on Poke? I mean, I want to wait and see what this Faceless Void chooses. This is level 20 talent, right? Because, again, I feel like they've got everything that they could possibly want to be able to...
Killer?
Not... Yeah, it's a very aggressive place, whereas farming... I think they even see the Faceless Void farming up here, so yeah, they're instantly pinging him up. Again, though, do you have the lockdown for him? Without this duel available, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only way they kill him, I think, is Shadowblade into Requiem.
Yeah. Okay, so
this is small KK.
Maybe.
Hang on, what's going on? Some crazy stuff's occurring at the moment. Cactus are a bit of a pep in their step. They built some momentum, playing pretty aggressive with the heroes dead on the side of Poke, but looks like they won't be able to put any more members in the grave.
Close to picking up the Silver Edge as well on Shadow Fiend, just about 300 gold away, so it's going to be a nice little bit of extra surprise factor as well as damage bonus. So Faceless Void, what I was really looking for is, does he go the time lock damage or does he go the attack speed during Chronosphere? I was thinking maybe because you've got the Beastmaster with the maxed out Inner Beast, with talented Inner Beast, and with well, they've already used all the drums charges on the Phoenix, but I'm assuming Boots of Bearing after that. Do you just go the time lock damage instead? Because you're probably not going to be attacking that much faster off the back of this, but I'm clearly thinking he needs that solo pick-off potential.
He's also currently under a ward on Lon first, so he's got to be cautious, but he does have the boys playing behind him. Julius at the ready here for TZY, but they don't want to run too far into the jungle without having that ward still to back them up. Maybe they'll go for small KK instead. They need a way to deal with the Lincolns, and that's where the Halbert's able to come into play, but Dire with a response. Supernova down to the south, but it's just not going to be enough. Sniper, he'll get blown up, and now for the rebuttal, though, is Lonfer trying to juke into the tree line to run into TZY, but it looks like the Legion won't be able to find a location to TP out. So Cactus again, another small skirmish going their way. They're starting to build up some small wins.
And they were able to do that without the Venge as well. Venge was just spending that whole time farming. He's actually going for the Hurricane Pike as well, kind of like what I was expecting to see from him, as a second Roche up as well. But yeah, it's going to give him as well another way to be able to break the Lincolns as well onto the Sniper. So I'm really liking the way that they're itemizing here on Cactus. They're giving themselves a small chance.
Someone's looking for a swap target, and he'll find it onto Ranfu. Already used the dive, so the Phoenix is stuck inside the river. Someone's more than happy with sacrificing his life, but he might not even die as the Jewel's on. They've caught out the Faceless Void. Now Killer's in trouble as well as Butterfly Effect. Aggressive force dive up to the high ground. Aaron's going to be forced to stop his TP.
Now they
doesn't want to feed away another life, but like you said, now they can Roche, and all of a sudden, Cactus, what are they doing to Poke? Well, this net worth lead is starting to crumble at a rapid rate.
I love that from Cactus. Like a lesser experienced team would have just said, you know what, let's just try and take Roshan. It's a 5v3, but they know that they're up against a Chronosphere and a Sunray, and you need to put your high priority heroes on the front lines, killing that Roshan. Probably the last place that you want to be against these heroes like a Faceless Void and the Phoenix is that Roche Pit, this confined area. So what do they do instead? They find a quick pickoff. They use the vision that they had to be able to get in the Phoenix to bait in the Faceless Void, and they didn't use the Legion Commander at all to be able to kill that Phoenix. Kept him hidden, and then used him to be able to get that all-important kill onto the Faceless Void, which then allows them to take the Roshan with no concerns at all. Really, really nicely done.
Yeah, Pulvol's Butterfly Effect up to the top of the net worth. Aegis and the Aghanim Shard now for the Shadow Fiend. And we see he's got that Arcane Blink queued up as well. And this is a item that will give you that just kill potential onto anyone. You can now, because the Legion Commander having 178 stolen damage, with Blade Mail, he probably solo kills the Void and the Sniper with the position is in, and then the Shadow Fiend, he can go for the other core. So I'm quite surprised, but it seems like we've got a ball game at 32 minutes in.
Absolutely. You've even got Jumi, who's gone the Aghanim Shard on the Tree and Protector, so it kind of forces them to go into like a to pop that Manta style super early, right? Just to be able to break out of that route that it provides. Speaking of Jumi, he's gone on a little bit here. And looks like he'll probably be giving up his life, but are they waiting for anything? I guess the Arcane Blink is the big item that they're just trying to use this Aegis to be able to farm. And, well, considering they took the tier 2 tower up top, they're going to have a whole lot of extra real estate to be able to play around with.
But Poke, they want to make sure they can't continue to play out of the map. They've got this numbers advantage. They've got everything up and available as well, so it's going to be Lonfer that's leading the charge. They don't really have the greatest vision inside their own jungle, though, so it will not be easy to catch out Cactus, and it looks like they are aware of this attempt. Do it, TZY. Don't use the odds again. They might know you're there. Ooh. You see small KK. Oh, hang on. Lonfer? No way.
Oh, the ping right on him.
TZY, can he get the blink? Oh, no. Even going to use the chrono as well from Lonfer. So much hate on the Legion commander.
He just bought the buckler, and he is 600 gold away from buyback. So, can you go for this attempt without it? I don't know if you can go for the high ground push without the Chronosphere available. I think it's still way too important to be able to take out both the Venge and the Shadow Fiend if you can.
You might be able to get all the tier 2 towers, though. Like, mid's down to half and top's getting shoved in. Lonfer's actually not going to continue to shove it out.
It's clearing out trees. Nicely done by Ranfu.
At least there's one objective going the way of Poke. Should be able to get some vision down as well in the meantime.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're actually going to force it.
Okay, maybe just trying to force a glyph, perhaps?
Osama. Swap back onto Killer. This is a valuable target here with the Beastmaster. They're not going to have the damage at the moment. Killer, he's in trouble still in the swap. There we go. Finally, they'll put him into the grave.
Gets the roar off, though.
It's a bit of an ambitious use of the ultimate here from the Phoenix. Unfortunately, Snapfire is unable to bring it down. Some of the end, not the worst out of Ranfu. They'll deal with Summer's illusion as well. So the hold the base Venge might need to buy back, but Poke, they don't have the Beastmaster to help out with this push.
Yeah, it's so important to have that Beastmaster available, not just, of course, because of the Helm of the Overlord creep, but even just the Helm of the Overlord aura, the AC aura, the Inner Beast aura. It provides so much to their team fighting attempts, and I mean, even just the vision, of course, right, with the Hawk being able to provide a little bit of that information.
Have a great one on the cliff, and TZY is going to get the jump, the jewel. It's onto the Rubik, but it doesn't matter because Butterfly Effect with the use of the Requiem holds small KK into place, but great use of the mobility. Sniper actually still escapes in the end.
The old concussive grenade trick. Very nicely done by him, of course. He's gone into the Satanic. I was actually kind of wondering why it had been quite some time until he went into that sort of item, prioritizing the Daedalus first instead. But obviously, Mask of Madness, it's not the game for it when you've got this Beastmaster helping you out. Satanic, though, going to make it so much more capable. You're not even worrying about the Blade Mail as much anymore, right? You just frees up small KK to take this fight on its merits.
Yeah, I wonder, like, because it definitely seems like Legion is prioritizing him in a lot of these fights. So when you see Lincolns get popped, you probably should have enough time to... Oh, no.
What happened?
All on Fur used Chrono, and he saw... I didn't see the start of it. I think Butterfly Effect stole the invins and blinked away, and he was a little bit too late to hold him inside the Chrono.
All right.
So that is...
Decent little timing.
Ultimate. Yeah, I mean, with that being said...
Maybe you take a tier 1 bottom now? There's
pretty good.
A little bit aggressively positioned. Really wants to finish up that BKB for himself.
He's going to run back towards a Treant Protector as well. Or maybe it's TZY. Who does he want? Ooh. Blink's going to get cancelled. This is a pretty good start here for Poke. Without the Legion, get the opening, but Yuumi with the counter. Overgrowth holds them all into place, so Radiant's going to be able to reposition back to the high ground, but small KK doesn't want to enable this Legion commander to escape. So in the end, 2 kills go on the way of Poke. Butterfly Effect will get that tier 1 tower and be able to TP out, though, down towards the bottom side.
So that's the power of lack of information, I guess you could say. They didn't know that the Satanic had just been picked up by small KK. It was a great Blink Overgrowth onto 4 by the Treant Protector, but he just pops that Satanic, gets the basic Dispel, and he's able to do the damage needed to be able to take out those 2 heroes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
All right, well, after Cactus had started to build up a decent amount of momentum. They've stalled this one out back to a 9,000 net worth lead for them. Definitely close at one stage. Unfortunately for Cactus, they didn't get anything out of that age as the full 5 minutes that Butterfly Effect was playing with that secondary life. Wasn't able to find a team fight to go their way. And now their high ground soon to be in trouble with the Legion not having buybacks. So he's down for 45 seconds.
It's going to need to be... I wonder if this Arcane Blink is actually going to grief them a little bit. Maybe not. It just depends on the positioning of the Shadow Fiend. I feel like this LC is so important to their ability to be able to take fights, as well as Overgrowth, and they don't have either for 50 seconds. So it's going to need to be Arcane Blink that does everything with a Requiem, right? It needs to be perfect onto the Shadow Fiend. So I'm thinking maybe like Nether Swap into Requiem, but then if you just pop a BKB on the Shadow Fiend, then that's on the Faceless Void, then it's wasted. So
look at the
what do you
from
do?
Aaron.
Oh,
see,
what
Butterfly
a ward.
Effect.
It's actually
how do you
so
stop
good,
this
man.
though on Dire? Butterfly Effect, there we go. There's the roar into the follow-up damage. Can he activate the BKB? The swap's just a little bit too late from Summer, and he doesn't have a buyback. Shadow Fiend down without this key component for 80 seconds, and Small KK can just start to rip them apart. A triple kill for the sniper. This definitely 2 full sets. They might go for more as well, trying to force out some buybacks. They push incredibly fast with the Beastmaster.
I mean, I said they can't fight without the LC, but your true carry is a Shadow Fiend, so it's the same sort of situation. And really not wanting to use these buybacks either, even use the Mortimer's Kisses, right? So it's even more damage that they're lacking as a result of this. So yeah, I think it's going to be 2 sets for absolutely certain.
They still got the Chrono as well. Oh, all right, there we go. Chrono up the last second, but the T4 Towers will get the kill, but it doesn't matter. Legion goes down, and he still doesn't have a buyback. They'll lose the Venge Illusion as well, but he's able to buy back and rejoin, but these buybacks are giving them nothing. Still the base is going to go down, and still the Dream Protector is going to be killed off.
I think they just needed to understand what they stood to lose as a result of this, right? Like, they were never going to win that team fight outright, and they might even just get the diebacks out of them. Well, looks like that was just enough to be able to force a buyback out of the Dream Protector, so even more economical damage, and I wonder if that's what Aaron's tip and kill are about, but the real one that should be receiving the tips is Aaron. What a great Observer Ward placed behind that bottom tower on the tier 3s, enabling the quick jump onto the Shadow Fiend. Knew exactly where he was moving, and wow, really just set up that entire 2 lanes to be able to go in their favor.
And now you've got some, net worth lead is blown wide open here for Poke, but also the experience. Lonfer's gone for the 20% backtrack with his 25 talent. The Sniper is gone for that plus 100 attack range as well. So not only the gold favoring them, but also the experience.
And now you got the Boots of Bearing as well on the Phoenix. So attack damage, plenty of it. You got the AC aura, you've got the Inner Beast aura, you've got the Boots of Bearing, you've got damage amp through the Helm of the Overlord. Like, what more could you possibly want?
Yep. I mean, you definitely couldn't ask for more now with Aaron having a Wind Waker.
No.
Somehow he's gone into the item that really saves them all throughout the duel. Huge, huge item here to keep one of those cores alive.
It's got the Telescope as well, so just giving the Sniper even more range than he already has.
At least for Cactus, though, they will finally have their full 5-man. It feels like we haven't seen them fight with this 5-man for multiple minutes now. Someone trying to double 4-stuff in. Swap on a Renfu, but is there any damage for it? And there's not. And keep in mind, Summer bought back prior, so it's just the summons and the Sunray, and he's probably going to lose his illusion as well, so... Ooh.
I don't know about that one, Chief. This is night and day compared to game number 1, right? We were praising Cactus about their ability to play as a team, but kind of just feels like they're panicked at all stages and they don't know what's needed to take these proper team fights. Like, who do you run first?
It definitely just feels like this 5-man at this stage of the game is not where they want to be. And we spoke a lot about Poke at the later stages should be very, very confident. It just seems like if you go for this 5-man draft, it's got a small margin of error.
All right, so maybe they completely clump up together and then they get Requiem, Arcane Blink Requiemed into an Overgrowth into Mortimer's Kisses, hitting 5 units, each of them.
They might not have their base for too much longer, as Butterfly Effect is not TPing back, and as a result of that, it's going to be Mega Creep, so...
Well, they go for a smoke, but...
Still the particles, I think. I mean, they're starting to ping it out. I see the Jewel off for the right side. They're able to get the faces for it, but there's the Wind Waker. It'll keep them alive for the moment. They're going to be in with the Overgrowth. Butterfly Effect, it's not a big enough. I think he meant to dodged it. One Fern now can look to time look under the tier 4 tower, but the Chrono's onto Tomb, and the G's are going to get dropped as Poke. What a performance from them. It definitely was a little bit rocky. The early game, again, looked incredible. There were moments of weakness for the lads on Die, but regardless...